Okay, so here's my $1 million idea. Some background. I've had like a post nasal drip thing. Just my throat kind of feels like it closes up. So here's my $1 million idea. Zoe, stop doing that to my bed. Thank you. Okay, back. Um, Anal beads that you like put down your throat and then you pull them back up and it pulls out all the mucus. It must feel very refreshing.
And we call them anal throat beads.
Yep. Great name, Chris. You really killed it.
Really getting the marketing out there. Like, we don't want to introduce a brand new concept. We
Like-
want to latch on to the anal beads.
So I've said this, I put this out in the world. I just want to get everybody's like, do you understand the vision?
Comment below.
I'm getting some head nods from Noah.
Tell us what you think about anal beads for your throat.
The vision I get. Like,
sold in
but would
all
your gag
stores.
reflex like allow you to do it? You'd have to think of it, right?
My honest answer, I've never put it to the test. I have no idea.
No, this is a bonus feature. You can advertise it as like something to exercise that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what happens is you use the anal beads for your throat, and if they work, great. If they don't work, you just throw it up and gets rid of everything anyway.
Does throat do that? Do you think throat clears some mucus out? I don't know.
A post nasal drip, maybe.
Okay.
This is
On
what you're
that
trying to
note,
deal with. All right. Welcome to Who Put This On, Season 9, Episode 13, where we watch Pop the Balloon Live. And is that the kind of girl you holla at? I'm Chris Lorenz.
I'm not interested in people who are allergic to charisma, people with a 680 credit score. This is Brian.
I'm black from the waist up. This is Noah Singer.
I just like men who look like they kill people. This is Chase DeMax.
Those were all quotes from this week. But last week, we watched the Almost Impossible Game Show, and we put a poll on YouTube and Twitter. And YouTube has the show as a top third show.
Yeah.
Twitter has the show as a middle third show.
All right.
And if you combine the votes, it's tied.
Whoa.
I blame Salem.
So
What did we
tell
say?
us what you thought about this week's show on YouTube so we can prevent these ties from happening in the future.
Max, we voted this evenly
Hashtag never
distributed.
again.
We just evenly distributed against top and bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Noah and I were top. Max and Chris were bottom.
Well, I know the correct answer here is bottom, so.
Yeah,
The audience is different.
Yeah, they definitely say different.
So, Noah, what show do we watch this week?
Pop the Balloon Live is a live streaming dating show now available on Netflix. The show, hosted by Yvonne Orji, features singles testing their chemistry while competing for a first date, with participants popping the balloon of those they're not interested in, eliminating them from the dating pool. This live format adds a new layer of real-time drama and romance to the dating experiment. That is Pop the Balloon on Netflix.
Thank you, Noah. First thing we have to talk about, the most important thing, is Yvonne Orji, whose last name is motherfucking Orji.
To be clear, it's ORJI. That's something phobic. I don't know what
French.
it is, Chris. That's French phobic.
Well, she's from Nigeria. So maybe it's like a common name in Nigeria.
I don't know. Let me make jokes, okay? This is a jokester podcast. I'm not making jokes. You're just pulling apart jokes. That's not fun. No one wants that.
It's called an anti-joke. Look it up.
Let him
Look
cook.
it up.
But
Look
she
in the
grew up in Maryland.
dictionary. Look for yourself next to idiot.
Yvonne Orji has also been in Velma and Jane the Virgin,
Oh,
among
done
other
most stuff.
things.
Yeah. She She's done stuff. She's not like a new kid on the block.
Did you recognize her?
I did. I recognized her from Insecure.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, okay, she was on that show for 5 years, 42 episodes. Goddamn.
Yeah, she has a major role in that show.
Cool.
And then I've seen her in other things, and I'd be like, "Oh, where's she from?" So now I've pieced it together. Like when I see her in different things.
All right. So the other thing I think we need to talk about is we've done this show before,
Oh, yes, we have.
and it is a very obscure Australian Chinese show. If You Are the One.
Great
It is-
show.
It's
Top of the top of the top.
It's literally so in this show, what happens is they have 8 people come out and they talk, and as they get disinterested, they pop the balloon. And, then that means they're not interested. Well, and If You Are the One, there's like 25 girls on the stage or men on the stage, and they press a button, meaning they're out. So it's the same format where they are just going out and doing like, I'd argue If You Are the One has a better format, to be honest, which we can get into the differences, but definitely a good podcast to listen to, our episode of If You Are the One. A little before Brian and Noah's time, but
Yeah.
That's not even the only time we've done a show like this. We also did the hit remake of If You Are the One for America, Take Me Out, hosted by George Lopez.
And on the
What?
Wikipedia on You Are the One, If You're the One, they say it's actually the grandchild in our What's the Parents and Grandparents, loosely based on the Taken Out formula, and Taken Out is your Australian dating show from 2008.
That's crazy. Still, the Chinese one is so interesting compared to
like
anything else.
it's culturally interesting because you get to see like what goes on in China versus what goes on in like America here, which is a bunch of foolishness in this episode for sure.
Even still, these shows kind of remind me, they're not exactly, but of Singled Out from MTV in the 90s. Do you guys know that one?
No.
With
Before
Max's
my
favorite
time.
person. Yeah, it has Max's favorite person, Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, fuck
God.
that.
I thought you were going to say Guy Fieri.
You know what? There's so many worse anti-vaxxers out there now. I've softened on Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah,
That can't be your stance.
Singled Out is from 1995.
But what is Singled Out?
So what they did, they had like one contestant, and then they had like I think it was 50 eligible people. So all 50 would come on the stage, and then the contestant would be like, "I want someone taller than 5'8". So everyone would leave. I want someone who doesn't play football, and then they leave, right? And then like you keep like going through this until like there's enough left on the stage for some other thing.
Noah, I gotta stop you right there. I have huge news about Singled Out. On June 4th, 2019, it was announced that a reboot of the series would premiere on April 6th, 2020 on Quibi,
Woo woo!
with Kiki
I'm
Palmer
pretty
and Joel Kim
sure-
Booster as hosts.
I wonder what
I
happened
think-
to it.
Pretty sure we did watch. I've seen this Quibi, or I've looked at this show on Quibi.
Yeah, we definitely watched this in our like Quibiverse when we were doing it. I don't know if we did it for the pod, we put on the pod, but like we definitely watched it in the Quibiverse.
Okay. All right. Let's focus on this show a little bit. So the first contestant that comes out is a quote unquote pop star. Get it? Pop star. Get
Pop,
it?
pop.
When one of the victims is culturally popular.
Yeah.
Victims.
We get Johnny Bananas comes out. And I'm
JB.
like, is Johnny Bananas single?
Great question. I'll tell you in a sec.
Okay.
Does
Somebody in
that
our
even
corner-
matter for him?
That's true. He
also
plays a
a good
character.
point, Ryan.
Yeah.
Good point. Throwing layups here. it didn't seem like he had any desire to like participate in this show like at all in any real serious way. He
They
was
just
not
brought
there
him
for the right
on.
reasons.
He was on there to advertise season 1, episode 1, and get people hooked. That's it. Netflix did something kind of good there, but
you would think that, but they didn't promote him being there. So like, how are they?
I didn't.
well, no,
I
it's
didn't
not about
see
promotion.
him in any of the trailers or anything. Also, correct, he is single currently.
Okay, well, I mean that's at least a little bit better. I don't think you need to advertise him. It's all about like those first like few minutes and like getting people hooked. And yeah, that's the point. Like people like tuning in. Like once if they knew he was in there, then they'd be done after that.
Yeah. Has Johnny Bananas ever dated someone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he has.
I don't know who they are, but he has.
Got
And
it.
then he's cheated on them in the challenge.
Oof.
I actually don't know that, but
Like,
I'm assuming.
I was like, was it a real cheating or like, Yeah, it's
Define real versus fake.
So
Yeah.
what I mean by it, it's like, did he ever really have a girlfriend, or is it just a girlfriend is such that he could play up the drama on the show, or they broke up like a while ago? Again, keep it going, drama.
Fair question. His latest one, I think, was with him for 3 years, so that's a long time to keep up a thing.
Yeah, that would be true.
All right, so Johnny Bananas comes out and he plays. He's like seems drunk, and he like plays with like behind a a fake plant, and people are just like, "What are you doing?" Pop their balloon. But the one key difference here between Pop the Balloon and other shows is that it seems like I was reading the Wikipedia on this, and Pop the Balloon, one of the key things for popping the balloon is explaining why you pop the balloon. So you get a better insight into women and how terrible they are or something.
That seems like a big generalization, Chris.
Yeah. Like
I always make sweeping generalizations on this podcast.
So
Good
true,
point.
bestie.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of this is like terribleness. I mean, some of it definitely is. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm stretching by saying terrible, but like that's the whole thing is you find out, oh, I'm in heels and we're in the same height. Sorry, buddy. You're too short. 5'10", not good enough.
I mean, it definitely is an unusual level of, I'd say, a little bit of shallowness, but more of striving for perfection. Like the woman picked up on like the smallest things and like, nope, pop, done.
Chris, you're Noah. You are saying that a bunch of models they recruited for a Netflix show in Los Angeles are shallow? I'll make that
No.
sweeping generalization for sure.
Do you think they're all models?
No,
No.
it's called a generalization. Look it up.
yeah, there was one person, and even Johnny Bananas like made a generalization about bartenders in LA. Or at least bottle service bartenders.
Which, like, I actually thought that was a very quick-witted line when he delivered it, and he got burned for it. I'm like, nah, you don't do that.
Yeah, but it just sounded like a roast instead of like being like witty. Like you could have done it like in a better way that actually didn't feel like it was roasting. I didn't like it.
I get you. By the way, I'm sure you guys know this. Johnny Bananas went to the same school as Chris and Brian.
Oh yeah, he did go to Penn State.
He went to not my middle school.
Could have as well, but it said he was born in California, but I assume he then moved to Pennsylvania at some point. It would be weird to live in California and go to Penn State, in my opinion.
Go Sandusky's.
Woohoo.
Damn, got their ass.
Yeah, what a funny joke.
Yep.
Like,
Don't worry about it.
like Sandusky, Ohio from Tommy Boy.
Not quite.
Yeah, so Bananas was kind of happy when he got all his balloons popped. And And some of the reasons they didn't like him is he was too rude, like just like silly things.
He was rude though.
I mean, fair. That's fair. I mean, you should have popped on Johnny Bananas because you should not be in a relationship with Johnny Bananas.
Nope.
Like,
yeah, get the hell out of there.
And then he said, "If you don't like me, get some taste," which was one of my quotes I was kind of thinking about using. So then they they had this weird setup where they were like, now show the singles in the bachelor room or whatever. And they showed like Johnny Bananas in like a backstage area. It's very weird. And then as the show went on, they kept adding people to it.
Yeah, it was like the knockout room or something like that.
But it was unclear if you got a match, would you go there or would you go to like the matched room? Like, what was that show we watched where when you got kicked off, you went to hell or something?
The one where you drop through the floor?
No, not that one. But it's a similar concept, I guess.
Yeah.
This was the weakest concept, though. Like, they didn't even show like what they were talking about or anything. They're just, all right, here they are.
Well, it was clear that they were doing some setup on the stage while they were doing, like, it's quote unquote a live show, one of Netflix's first like 3 or 4 live events or something. Maybe Netflix will only have live shows in the future. Who knows what Netflix is going to do?
No, but I think that's the thing, right? Like, I think this has to be. I think that production choice didn't work out, but we also can't hold it to the same bar as non-live shows, right? Like a little bit of a different element.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some things about the show that, like, quote unquote, is live. Like, why is this live? Who cares? What's going on?
That is true. There is no reason this needs to be live.
Also, the version I watched was very well edited, which it's possible to do live, but what's the delay on this? Like, is it a 2-hour delay or something?
Like, you don't know because there's nothing that like makes it live. There's no like, hey, come in and vote for who you think Johnny Bananas should make out with.
Totally.
Yeah, like Slime Time Live, you could see outside, you could see it was clearly live.
I think
Saturday Night Live, I mean, do I need to say any more?
I think there is a good thing to having a live show, especially on reality TV. It just means that people are going to like focus on here's when things like people already look at when things drop. And this is like, hey, this is going to drop one episode. Everybody's going to watch it at the same time, live reactions. That is a completely different experience than even dropping like just a batch of 4 shows. It's a very different experience.
Well, I think they're trying to manufacture that, right? Like with appointment viewing, like get people to talk about it. That makes sense. But I feel like they just don't follow up, like to Chris's point, like, and we're going to vote on this, right? Or like there's some interactivity or something to prove that it's like live. Like that's where...
Or a reason to be live.
You don't need that though. Bachelor is a big one where, hey, it's live. People will live comment on it on X and /Twitter / whatever the fuck you want to do it on. And yeah, that gets engagement for people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But a little bit, I think because The Bachelor's trapped in ABC's business model.
Like,
right? Like, I think little different. Right?
Sure. But like, I just don't think it's like the general model right now. Like, I don't think you need like a hook for live engagement to make that happen. Since, I mean, you could also look at like We the Jury and shit like that, and it didn't really work that well. It maybe could work better now. Netflix, reboot We the Jury.
We the Jury. There's already, pages already written for that show. We never saw.
So true.
Yeah. Well, like Netflix, why doesn't Netflix do the same thing that what was that trivia show? That was like trivia game that was super popular.
1 versus 100.
No,
yeah.
HQ
trivia. Like, just take a trivia game and make it like live. Like, take Jeopardy and make it with all of your subscribers. Like, there's a proven format that this will work. And what
Netflix
do we do?
HQ with Scott Rogowski would be amazing.
I could see them rebooting it like once a week, like 1 week a year, and just like don't burn it out like they burned out. Like just juice it just right. Do it during like the lull when Netflix subscribers lapse. Keep them in.
I'm just saying, like, it's just a weird show to do this for because it's like there's nothing captivating about it being live other than like you kind of get Banana says his one liner. Is it written for him beforehand? Did he write like you got to get really witty people on the show? Maybe you get some more honest reactions, but you also get some dead air that's just kind of like when people are trying to think of reasons why they didn't like this person.
Honestly,
and, yeah.
You know, sorry, I had something. It's gone.
I have another thought as to why. Oh, sorry, no, go on.
I was just wondering if one of the beads got caught in Max's throat.
Oh,
Yep, must be it.
I wonder if this has a secondary thing in that like Netflix has never run a live event successfully. Like even like football had like issues. Like all of them had like like all of them have like had articles written afterwards of like some kind of disruption.
Oh.
So maybe this is just a test and figure out like their live shit.
I mean, whatever Netflix is doing sometimes mystifies me. Like, Brian, if the true thing was to get like Twitter engagement and all that stuff, like, then why not have your shows launch one a week and then let people all watch and discuss together? Why dump whole seasons at once? Like, it's silly.
Some sort of one each week a new one situation?
Yeah.
No, second screen engagement. Like everybody has their second screen now, and Netflix is all about that. So this is perfect. Everybody's now doing social media stuff for this live show. It actually makes total
exactly
sense.
why they should be doing a trivia game show. Second
they
screen,
should.
you're playing trivia.
No question, they should be. It's just, I guess they haven't figured out that that's the real formula.
I don't know. I don't think we're on it because even if it was to test out their infrastructure for live, like to Chris, like to your point, like in an NFL game or like in the Jake Paul thing, like you have so many people that are going to be validating what's happening. Where in this, like there's nothing to validate. For all we know, this isn't live, right?
I tried to watch it live, but it was on at like 5 p.m. on a Thursday, and I put it on at 6, and I was like, oh damn it, I missed it. And then I just watched it later.
Maybe we should actually check out the live version to see how much it's edited, but that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Is it to put on a show on Thursday at 5 p.m.?
Yes, it is. No. You have to put it on at 5 p.m. You have to take notes on stuff, and then you have to watch it again edited and compare.
But you could just see the time difference between the live and edited version.
Yeah, I mean,
you watch it at max speed.
That's fair. If you do watch like the second version on max speed, or even the first version, well, I guess you can't watch the first version. But yeah, you could figure out like what people have actually cut out.
Yeah, that's true. We don't know if this was the live version of the show. None of us watched it live.
It did say edited though, so.
Oh. All right. Well, what's everybody doing on what day of the week does this come out?
It's Thursdays at 5.
Better things.
5
for you, this would
ET?
be 8 p.m.
Okay.
For you, it's 8.
Well, I know what I'm doing Thursday night. Seeing Aziz Ansari.
I was like not watching the show.
On that, I like how like Aziz and Louis C.K. they're now like uncanceled.
Louis C.K. is not uncanceled.
He has like a 80 city tour or something. He just like is kicking off. It's like nuts. And like
I think Aziz's never. It wasn't as big as anything else. No, and it never really stuck. Is my take.
I wouldn't call them canceled because before they were canceled, they were huge. They were making stuff on TV. They weren't just like stand-ups. And like
Fair
for
enough.
them to get back to stand-up, sure. Like I'm there, they might not be booking out Madison Square Garden anymore, but they can book out a room of like 50 people or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, that's reasonable. Where are you seeing Aziz at Madison Square Garden?
I don't know where. Anshul said, "You want to go see him?" And I said, "Yes."
Okay, because I sort of see Chris is like they're not doing Madison Square Garden. Seeing him at Madison Square Garden, that'd be like,
well, I feel like Aziz, I think could like I don't think.
Sorry, he's doing Radio City Music Hall, which is pretty fucking big.
yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, the venue itself, it's like not the biggest venue, but it's a marquee. Like you are not canceled anymore, in my opinion. If you're doing Radio City,
It's also pretty big, but yeah.
is it? I don't think.
I went there for a show a year and a half ago, and I was shocked. It is like far bigger than any other theater I've been to in New York.
So it's 6,000 seats.
Okay,
Like it's big,
let's see.
but it's not in
That's
a arena.
not- That's not Madison Square Garden.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
Madison's is like 50.
Like I guess when you're talking about like a theater, yes, it's a huge theater, right? Like 6,000 seats for a theater is gigantic, but it's not 10,000. 20,000.
It is more than double the capacity of the Seattle Paramount.
Totally.
Like
yeah.
it's big. Anyway, back to
All right.
the show.
So our next contestant we got is Keith. He's 34, and people don't like him because he has an unattractive shirt and hairline.
And he's not short, but people think he's short.
To be fair, it was a bad choice of shirt.
Oh, the shirt was awful.
Yeah, like it really was.
I mean, it was good that like somebody actually like really said, "Hey, you can change your shirt." That's not really.
Somebody did say that.
Somebody said, "Justice for short kings. Bring him to the store, girls."
They kept talking about those short kings. Like, what's with all these people being kings? This king, that king.
That's just a joke on the interwebs where like don't just judge people on that shit.
Yeah.
You haven't heard like "Go Off, King."
I have. I know.
King is kind of back in the zeitgeist.
I know.
You know, Trump will be Emperor, God, King.
I know. Like, I think usually I'm like okay with how culture moves. I'm like generally good with the king thing. It like sticks out to me. It like stings me when I hear it. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. So as we watch Keith here, all the balloons get popped except for I think one, and then at the end they do they pull them up to answer questions, like more pointed questions. I guess the format is very confusing to me. So like they come in, and then the balloons get popped. Then they ask the people that pop the balloons, "Why did you pop the balloons?" And then if there's people still left over, then they get to ask the guy a question. And then if there's like two people left, then they come forward and he asks them a question. And then they can decide if they want to go on a date together, or they never really.
There's
no stakes here. No one said what happens if you go off stage together.
Spoiler, nobody does. So we have no idea.
Yeah, they're 0 for 5 this episode.
Yeah. So this person got to the ask the girl a question, I think, and then she didn't like the answer. I don't remember what it was. Doesn't matter. She popped.
I have a very non sequitur fun fact. I don't know if it's
We love those.
So I'm just going back to Ivan Orgy's Wikipedia.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
You can guess. Like,
Does it have to do with being a Protestant?
Yes. So she has stated she will remain a virgin until marriage. That's crazy.
What does it have to do with being a Protestant?
The full sentence on Wikipedia is raised Catholic. Orgy is now a devout Protestant and has stated that she will remain a virgin until marriage.
That's great.
So
She's 41.
Damn.
Maybe she needs to be on the show,
She is on this show.
but she needs to be on the contestant side.
Yeah.
She needs a
Yeah.
balloon.
I'm surprised. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I did think she was pretty good as a host. Like,
Yeah.
she provided some energy, she's provided some humor. It's like quick-witted humor, or like somebody in her ear is quick-witted. I don't know. Seems complicated to do this.
Some kind of live performance, if you will.
Yeah.
so I will. She gave like a little bit of a Steve Harvey vibe. There's at one point when she was laughing that she like had to. She bent over holding her stomach, like what Steve
sure.
does a lot in Family Feud when like something's like over the top.
For
Nothing
sure.
else gave me Steve Harvey vibes, but like that one, I was like, ooh, that's like very reminiscent of his like little shtick on Family Feud.
Wait, who's Steve Harvey?
He's some guy.
Some judge.
So then after Keith, we got Chase Demore. He's from Too Hot to Handle. He's another quote unquote pop star. He's a pro boxer and he's looking for somebody that's outdoorsy. And then this is where my quote comes from, where Miss Orgy said, "Is this one of the kind of girl you holla at?"
She loves asking if you're going to holler at them.
Holla at.
How?
It seems like he said he liked everyone, and that pissed everyone off, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, like what's the fucking problem if the guy doesn't quite have a type and he can
And it's
connect
like,
with whoever?
you-
Why do you
everyone
want to
on
hear
that-
yourself?
Everyone on that stage is a 9, like 9, 10, maybe an 8. You'd argue, whatever. Even that's the problem with these type of shows, is like those kind of people are super picky because everyone wants them and allows them to be super picky.
Hmm.
Maybe that's what you want on the show. You want a lot of pop balloons, and you want of like, this is why I hate women kind of sentiment going around.
I will say though, I think compared to, so they only had 8 women on the show. Compared to other shows, I do think they brought a more diverse cast of like attractiveness relative.
There's
to
definitely
somebody-
some DEI going on here, so I think that they're going to get some funding pulled from the federal government.
I mean, I don't even mean, yes, I think they had, they had like, they did definitely go for like a spectrum of people, but I think
Yeah.
purely on the attractiveness level, these shows generally are like 9s and 10s. And I don't think everyone was a 9 and 10 here in like a very positive way. Like it was just like decent mix.
I disagree.
Hmm.
They're all very attractive. They were just like really attractive if they were somebody's 34 versus somebody that's 23. You're going to look different. Like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Whatever. So like, a 9 at 34 is definitely different than a 9 at 23.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's definitely some subjectivity going on here. But like you could argue, I think, a point for every single person on stage to be a 9, regardless.
Right. It's just like, it's one of these shows, right? It's like over the top dating show. Not that like that's the world, but it's just this genre of content.
And then after Chase, we got Vader or Vadar. I don't know.
No, his name was less weird. Braden.
Okay, I don't know where Vader got in my notes.
Vader?
I was like, I'm pretty sure this guy's name was a little less weird.
Okay.
Vader. I didn't take that down, but I just like that you have.
I know exactly what happened. So our host was saying like, "Oh, come on out next dater," or like something like that. I definitely heard that too, and I was like, "Wait, are they saying the name or is it just?" Yeah,
Okay.
but
Brian, that happened to me too.
That would make sense. And he got a lot of buttons popped because he said he was looking for somebody for under 30, which like more than half the people I think were over 30. So then you're really limiting your pool on the show of 8. And then after him, we had Harnack. I don't know.
Hold on, I have this Harnek, Harnek.
he liked curry. He makes a lot of curry, and he gets down to like the last two, and he pops somebody else's balloon because she didn't like curry.
Okay, but in his defense, being 28 or whatever and not liking curry, grow the fuck up. I'm sorry. I'm over it. I'm over hating curry. That's sexist.
Can't hate somebody for not liking a particular type of food.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can.
I think I think it's okay to like say, look, a big part of my life is eating this type of food. If you're
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to reject somebody because they don't like curry and you like making curry. 1,000% okay. Max, you like not liking somebody because they don't like curry. I don't know. Like, you're not trying to date this person. You're just like, this person's just
Who
the
says
person's
I'm
like-
not?
The person's like, yeah, I like curry, but only from like this one restaurant. So it's not like she's besmirching curry or saying, curry's gross. She's just saying she prefers not curry.
All I'm saying is,
Also,
Harnick, you deserve better.
it's true.
I'll give a different view. Maybe she just hates spices. That's a problem.
Yeah.
It's possible. I don't know. Maybe she's got a weak stomach and can't take the spices.
True.
Could be. Could
Still
be.
a problem.
Yeah, I agree. It's still a problem. Like, you go to a restaurant, you're trying to decide what are we going to order, and it's like, yeah, we only get buttered pasta when we go out to restaurants. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be a bad time.
I mean, my sister, I know people in my life, in my family, extended family, that like have very small appetite for changing their food. Like they want what they want. They don't want Indian food. They don't want Thai food. They want, American food.
I think it's okay to express preferences as long as you're not a dick about it.
And this show is all about like the quick kind of like
Yeah.
feedback, So the whole point of the show is to really be like, oh, you're too short. Pam.
Too bad they don't have some, like the popping the balloon is pretty good. Like, I think that it's a very nice visual. I wonder if they could like amp that up a bit.
I disagree. I don't like popping the balloon because every
Oh.
time a balloon gets popped, like Yvonne would get, she'd like shake, and like people are shaking, and like because they're getting balloons popped in their face. And it's like it's I don't like it. That's just my opinion. I do. I mean, I like it in a way where it's like, I don't like you. Pop. Like you're really giving a statement.
Oh yeah.
But as like production of a show, it's kind of weird. Like people just need to be further away from the balloons.
What would your ideal format be, Chris, if not balloon popping?
Well, so here's where we can bring this back to If You Are the One, because I think If You Are the One is a superior show for many reasons. One of the reasons being like there's just more women or men on the show, and like the just like lights off, lights on is perfectly fine. Like I don't need a statement of why you don't like this person. And I don't particularly care why you don't like this person. Like it's not that interesting to be like, I don't like skiers, so I pop my balloon. Like who cares? Like I'm sorry. That's just my like these superficial opinions of why you don't like somebody is more annoying than the superficial opinions, in my opinion.
It's no good.
I mean, it's definitely like filling the air. Actually, on filling the air, one thing I didn't like, they kept repeating who these people were.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was annoying. It's like, tell us about yourself. For the 5th time, I'm a medical assistant living in Los Angeles. It's like
I live outside LA.
Yes. Yeah, that one girl lived too far from LA. We talked about she comes on the show like, yeah, I live too far. You don't want a long distance relationship.
Then why the hell is she on the show?
I know it was
I think this show would be far more interesting as the reverse gender. Like the men have the balloons and the women are the ones trying to like get love from the men.
Ooh.
Could they
'Cause I
do
think-
that next episode?
I don't know.
Because the men would be less picky. They're like,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Totally.
I mean, it depends on the caliber of men they get. If they get all these Johnny Banana assholes, then
Yeah.
No.
they'll be just as picky. Like Love Island people, like they'll be picky. So I don't know, but they're definitely more open to than I think the women are. But yeah, that's the other big difference I have like between this show and If You Are the One to discuss is
Uh-huh.
just like the whole format. So like when the guy comes out, they like have like a whole intro segment filmed to like talk about his life and what he's like a dating, like a short 60-second dating show or like a dating tape or whatever. Like really gives you way more investment in who these people are. Like I didn't give a freaking like I could care less about these people. I don't know anything about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they also did that for like the women on the show. They'd have I just remember going into somebody's room and it being all pink. And like they had like segments for the women as well, and not just the men that were being judged.
Yeah.
So you got like more, and the other thing we talked about extensively in the podcast was like, actually, there's two more things. The one thing is if you don't pick somebody, and if you are the one, you get to move on to the next week. So some of the people were like big celebrities because they've been on the show forever and not picked anyone. So it's
Which I love.
which is so it like ends up being a really big deal when you go off the show.
Right. Right.
And there were stakes. Like they were like, you got like a trip out of this. I assume with the other person.
A trip to the Aegean Sea.
Ooh. Ooh.
And then the classic thing that we must talk about is at the end of If You Are the One, the emails for the contestants showed up on the screen. So you could email them if you liked them.
Oh, I totally missed that.
Delightful.
Was it at like a You Are the One domain, or is it like at
I
Gmail?
believe it wasn't at You Are the One.
Okay.
I don't quote me on this. I feel like the show was like affiliated with some dating app, like Bumble or Hinge, and it may have been like at Chinese dating app.ca.
Sure. Got it. Okay.
But like, imagine if you're the guy and you were on the show. It's like these 25 women might not like me, but I'm trying to put up a good front, so somebody will email me and be like, "Hey, you want to go on a date or something?"
Interesting.
It created a whole different dynamic. Shows need to do this. Like, such a good idea.
Should we bring back like You Are the One? Because now we can just have an AI bot connected to that profile. So when people email it, be like, "Oh my god, I got it! Email back," and they're gonna talk to me on the phone, and then we can have the phone call and just put AI again. And
Noah, why are you being such an asshole?
I mean, this could be life. Like, people be happy.
Tinder's already filled with AI. It's fine.
Is it really?
100%.
I didn't know that. I haven't been on Tinder in a long time. I don't know what's happening these days.
I feel like there's just been like tons of articles on like fucking how bawdy it is. Like just filled with bots like trying to get money out of you.
No shit. I had no idea. I had no clue.
Tweet at Noah Singer. Tell him about your Tinder stories.
Yeah. Because that's not me. We'll find some poor guy. Man, I feel bad for you. Chris called you an asshole, and that wasn't deserved. Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
What do you mean? You're just the AI asshole. You were the cryptocurrency asshole before that. You're the Tesla
I
asshole.
was never into cryptocurrency. You will not find me saying one thing about cryptocurrency.
All right, get the tapes. Look
Go
at the
get
tapes.
No.
I bought a few $10 worth of Doge as a joke way back.
So now
Did you
you
make any money on it?
No, I lost. I mean, I think I put in like $70 and I sold it at like $14.
Oof.
You shouldn't have done that.
So yeah, big loss.
You could be a
Big
millionaire now.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Do not lump me in catching on all the fads,
I don't know.
sir.
You're on this AI fad, so I just have to assume you're on all the
Yes.
NFT, Bitcoin. I feel like you did propose a Who Put This On NFT at some point.
An NFT
Yeah.
I could see. An NFT would be fun. But I think purely from the fun of it, not from like,
Ugh.
hey, where's this gonna go?
All right, who's the worst human being on this show?
I think you answered that for us for calling me an asshole. Bro.
You?
On this show, yeah.
Bro.
My honest answer is it's really hard to choose.
Johnny, because he is repeatedly just being a dick to everybody, even if it is for show.
Johnny is definitely a big contender here because he like came on the show, just like made fun of the show, just treated the show like trash, in my opinion, and like really set a tone for the show that just is like terrible.
It was a really odd first choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Johnny just because of how he sets the tone for the show and how miserable that tone is.
Pretty bad.
All right, Noah, what speed did Max watch the show at?
So I was thinking about this. I was tempted to click this up. So I don't think he 1x'd it. I think he did it at whatever Netflix allows, one notch above. Whatever is that allowance. Is it 1.25?
So that would be 1.5.
Oh, man. Ooh, that's aggressive. I'll go 1.5.
Aggressive?
I will do. Well, there's no 0.25. It's just a big jump.
No, there is a 1.25, yeah.
Oh, there is a 1.25.
Yeah, there's a few like different things, but like the max is 1.5.
No, sorry. I meant what's like the first click up from one? Like what's
1.25.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah. 1.25. That's my answer, Bob.
Brian, what do you got?
1.5, because I may or may not have watched at 1.5.
All right, I'll go 2 because
Ooh.
Max,
That is a great bet.
What speed did you watch the show at, Max?
Well, fellas, I have great news. I watched this on 2 devices. I spent most of the evening with our friends, Anshul and Samil. So I forgot to watch the show during the work week, so I watched half of it at 1.5x on my phone on the way. And then I got home and watched the other half at 1x. So I believe 1.25 is about right.
All right.
Okay,
Man, we gotta record these. I feel like I crush. Like I feel like my record here is very good.
Oh, Noah, your record is not good at all.
It's great. It's an amazing record. It's an amazing record. Go back to the tapes.
all right. Well, Rob is our statistician. You could ask him to also keep stats on this as well.
I gotta find some AI thing that I'll pay $40 or whatever.
I have the transcripts of the podcast. If you,
Oh, you
want
do?
to, yeah. If you want.
Oh yeah. Can you send me like a zip file or something? Yeah.
I have to figure out how to get them uploaded. And then yes,
Sweet.
they're all just on my computer. So,
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Would this show be better as a Quibi or a TikTok? And I think like one segment of this is pretty much a Quibi. Like,
Definitely.
So this show started on YouTube,
yeah.
which
It did?
they got the short, yes, or rather not the live part, but like this format pre-existed. I've seen basically small clips of this on TikTok.
So
Interesting.
And yes, it is better than 45 minutes straight of it.
Interesting.
You think that it would be better with 45 minutes because you'd like get to know the women and they're like, what? There's only 8 women, so you should think you would get to know what they'd want. But like at the end of this, I have no idea. No idea. Other
Yeah.
than one person wants their significant other to look like they can murder people. Real, real weird. That's real BDSM shit right there.
Hmm. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to say one minutia, and I think this is important. One of the contestants is very proud that he has a 680 credit score, and he brought it up multiple times. Which I was just
That was Mr.
surprised.
Bananas.
Was it JB? Oh yeah, it was Johnny.
It was JB.
Yeah,
I
which
think
is
that was just a joke.
oh, is that a joke?
I don't
Weird,
know.
weird joke. Very very weird joke.
I mean,
I
he
never
might
know.
have a six. He might have that because he like, I don't know. He's $1 million multiple times. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe he's really bad with money.
His Wikipedia says he's had like 1.2 million in prize winnings over like 7 years or something. So it's not like crazy, you know.
He did have his own show at some point, but now he's back on the challenge. So like, clearly that didn't go well for him.
So he has actually a ton of TV credits. So the dude is like working. Yeah, I think it's just a bad joke because like he definitely has some money.
Just because you have money doesn't mean you have a good credit score.
I mean, you should be able to pay off your credit cards, right? Like,
That's just not how money works. Though you can get it and then spend it.
tell me more. I don't understand that.
I agree with you. To sensible people, that would also make little sense. But
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, you could end up like the situation, right? Like,
yeah.
noted. Yeah.
All right. What question? Drinking rules. Can't forget about drinking rules. If you really want to die, you could take a drink every time a balloon gets popped.
Jesus.
Brian, do you have any more sensible drinking rules?
I mean, I can go along with that and be like, drink every time somebody pops a balloon for a superficial reason. You are probably going to die with that one too.
How about drink every time you would pop your balloon?
I like that.
Have a sip of a dark and stormy every time somebody says they prefer black guys.
Yeah, there was a high preference for black guys in this show.
Hey, good for them.
Wonderful.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, that's what they said.
All right, we do ratings where we do top, middle, bottom, third, and we rate them against other reality shows. Brian, what do you got for me?
I cannot go higher than bottom third, maybe middle of the bottom. It after one, I was good. It did not engage me any further.
Noah, what do you got for me?
Yeah, it's I'm close to Brian. Like, I think it's done well. I think the characters are decent. Because I think as a firm like idea, like if you're in a reality show, you're not really a person, you're a character. It feels below a middle show. Yeah, it's like not like why is there a reason to tune in again? I don't think they really give you a great reason. Yvonne's good. It's just not enough. So yeah, I think it's bottom, but top of the bottom. Right? You know, it's not trash. It's just kind of not there. So yeah, bottom, top of the bottom.
Max, what do you got for me?
I didn't hate it. Middle third. I wouldn't watch another episode, so let's say middle, smack dab in the middle.
I'm very concerned for you, Max. Like, that's what the fuck.
At 1.5x, it was fine. You know what? It's not a good show, but we've watched so much shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to put this. like you think I would know. It's definitely like if you are the one really clouds this show because that show was fun, the show's not fun, but it's like so similar. And then this show's just like so superficial. So to put in the bottom, maybe I shouldn't have struggled with that. It's just not that interesting of a show. Um, so that's where it is. Tell us what you thought about the show on YouTube at Who Put This On, youtube.com/Who Put This On. You can find us, tell us on Twitter. Who knows how long I'll be listening to that or looking at that, but you can tell us there now at Who Put This On. You can also email us. Email us a voice message and we'll play it on the show. whoputthison@gmail.com. Now, shout outs. We do shout outs of other stuff we've been watching. Noah, you have any shout outs this week?
So, I don't know if it's you guys or like someone, but I feel like the movie Idiocracy has been like coming up again and again. Not like blast every day, but like it's been like periodically popping. And so I finally took time to watch it. For some reason, I got in my head that someone told me like, yeah, it predicts a lot of the future. I felt like it predicted nothing of the future, but stupid, silly movie. Probably better if you're on drugs, pot specifically. I wasn't. It's fine. That's about it.
I disagree wholeheartedly. The movie is prescient in many ways.
Please tell me, because I can not piece.
The like convergence to being to like Dumber and Dumber, I think has been pretty clear from my perspective. At least politically, it seems like people are getting dumber, and that's like very clear. And the amount of advertising in that, in like the show, in the movie, is like becoming real life. I'm sure in your lifetime you will see a TV just like in that show or in that movie. Um, Speaking of advertising, the show I've been watching is Black Mirror, which the first episode is really good and has some like really interesting advertising going on. If you'll know it when you see it, but I definitely recommend season 7 of Black Mirror. Although not all of them have been good, but there's been some great ones, especially the first one and the 5th one. I haven't watched the 6th one.
Did you buy ad space for Who Put This On in the Black Mirror episode?
I wish I did because we get some hits right now. Brian, any shout outs?
Yeah, I actually watched the first episode of Game Changers season 7, and that was nuts. Like, if you haven't read anything about it, just go and watch it / look up clips or something. Like, it is good.
Is a certain 4-letter word very central to the episode? The host goes to a place that's 4 letters.
No,
Maybe not. I don't know.
no, no, not that.
Honestly, I enjoyed my dropout trial, and I might give it a whirl again.
Max, any shout outs this week?
Finished The Pit. Great show. Started Last of Us season 2. Tight. Been reading that Malazan Book of the Fallen.
Is it Malazan or Malazan?
Or Malazan. I don't know.
Or
that's
Malazan.
All things are possible. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I feel like I actually read 2 things. Didn't read, but I saw headlines on both New York Times. One of them said we actually are getting not dumber, but we're not becoming smarter. Which I guess like up until recently, IQ has went up and up for like the general population. That's kind of plateaued. So Chris, you might be on something, but a little bit different, not dumber, just not getting smarter.
That's just there's no, I'm not looking at any data other than who gets elected. That's it. That's the only data I'm looking at.
It's good litmus test. But Max, I feel like I saw a headline. It was like episode 1. Meh. Do you agree?
Of
I
the
mean,
bit.
no. The Last of Us.
Nothing groundbreaking, but I don't judge any season by its episode 1.
Who would do a
I judge it
podcast?
by its episode 4.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad recipe for a podcast.
All right. Tell us what you thought about this show, Pop the Balloon Live, on YouTube, youtube.com/hoopithisan. You can find us on facebook.com/hoopithisan. You can email us questions and suggestions at hoopithisan@gmail.com. As for next week, we're going to be doing the Hulu show, Get Out of Here or something. Does anyone remember the show name? I definitely, let me look at in our Slack.
I'm like Googling it quick to see.
It's Got to Get Out.
Got to get
The
that.
full season's on Hulu right now, so we're going to be watching season 1, episode 1 of that next week.
Oh, the description of this one's nuts. Okay.
All right, and we'll see you guys next time.